Good afternoon. Welcome to Vanik Smart. So, the Delhi developments discussion. So today, discuss some important issues that are in light in the last 1 or 2 days in the newspaper. The first one is about this Central Tibetan Relief Committee. You know that the news start like this: the Union government has extended the scheme to provide 40 crore. So an amount of 40 crore granting aid to Dalai Lama's Central Tibetan Relief Committee for another 5 years up to the fiscal year 2025-26. The news is an amount of 40 crore granted to Dalai Lama's CTRC, Central Tibetan Relief Committee. So let have a detailed discussion on this. You know, as per the information available, so more than 1 lakh Tibetan refugees are settled in India, and majority of them stay in Karnataka, Himachal Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, West Bengal, Jammu Kashmir, and also some of them also stay in Odisha at Chandragiri. Fine. The Tibetan refugees they started coming to India with Dalai Lama with this the Great Tibetan Uprising. So which is known as the in 1959 the Great Tibetan Uprising. Led Dalai Lama with his own followers to flee the country. They fled Tibet, and government of India decided to give them asylum as well as assistance towards temporary settlement. And since that day, so they are staying in India, the Dalai Lama and his followers. So they are staying in India, and they are spread over many states as Tibetan refugees, like in Karnataka, Himachal, Arunachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, West Bengal, Jammu Kashmir, Odisha. They are staying over. And government of India has a concern for them, for which a financial amount of 40 crore has been granted to them. So to the Tibetan Central Tibetan Relief Committee. There not only this amount has not only been given to the Tibetans staying in India, but also Tibetans staying in nearby countries like Nepal and Bhutan. The central, so something to know about the Central Tibetan Relief Committee. But this is whether it is Government of India, organizations, trust, or what it is, let know its status. The Central Tibetan Relief Committee so has been registered under the Society Registration Act in India. Okay, and so registered as a charitable society under Indian Society Registration Act of 1860. So what it is? It is a charitable society, charitable trust. The Central Tibetan Relief Committee is a charitable trust which has been registered under the Society Registration Act of 1860. Fine. So it includes members from each of the 53 Tibetan settlements in India, Nepal, and Bhutan. So, spread over India, Nepal, and Bhutan, there are 53 Tibetan settlements where these Tibetan refugees who fled Tibet during the period of the Tibetan uprising of 1959, they are staying. So, about settlements, Their number is 53 Tibetan settlements, and this charitable society, so it includes members from each of these 53 Tibetan settlements in India, Nepal, and Bhutan. This Central Tibetan Relief Committee consists of, its members will include, so from each of these 53 Tibetan settlements which are spread over India and the neighboring country of Nepal and Bhutan. So why this is created? It is dedicated to preserving the cultural and religious heritage of Tibet and building and maintaining sustainable democratic community in exile. Is the objective of this Central Tibetan Relief Committee. It has been created to maintain or propagate Tibetan culture. Fine. Government of India provided them some fund like the 40 crore granted recently and in the past also. Along with this, it also dependent on generous international assistance from government, especially India, Nepal, Bhutan, philanthropic organizations and individuals. They also contribute to this Central Tibetan Relief Committee to carry on their activities to promote Tibetan culture and also to maintain and democratic institutions or to run their government in exile. So what is it? Is a very new term. So what you are exposed to, it is known as the government in the Tibetan government in exile. Tibetan government in exile, run from India. Fine. Let's move. But the objective, the main objective of the committee is to coordinate individual, voluntary agency and Indian government effort to rehabilitate and settle Tibetan refugees. It also assists the and promote the upliftment of the poor, needy, backward, underprivileged individuals and making Tibetan settlement viable and sustainable. It is only for the Tibetans, not for others, because Tibetans are staying in large number in India. So many of them are poor. They don't have any economic avenues or to maintain their livelihood. This agency, organization, provides them all the support in the humanitarian nature. Fine. And the next news comes to the Tibetan parliament in exile. You know, so in exile means so from India. The Tibetan refugee, along with their spiritual leader Dalai Lama, they lead a government in exile from Indian soil. It is officially the parliament of the Central Tibetan administration. It is unicameral and highest legislative organ of the Central Tibetan administration, the government in exile of the Tibetan Autonomous Region of China, and it was being run from Dharmasala in Himachal Pradesh. Fine. The Tibetan government in exile is being run from India, from the place Dharmasala, which is in the state of Himachal Pradesh. The creation of this democratically elected body has been one of the major changes in the 14th Dalai Lama, but about in his efforts to introduce democratic system of administration. That means they created the parliament. Fine. And that parliament makes law for the Tibetans. Although Tibetan physically major portion of the Tibetans they live in Tibet, which is controlled by China, but their spiritual leader and a good number of supporters they live in India and they run the government in exile from India, from Dharmasala in Himachal Pradesh, and they make law for the Tibetan people from Indian soil. The Tibetan parliament in exile is by a speaker and a deputy speaker. Like any other parliament, the Tibetan parliament in exile is also led by a speaker and a deputy speaker. And any Tibetan who has reached the age of 25 has the right to contest election to the parliament. Any Tibetan who is above 25 years age can contest the election to be a member of the Tibetan parliament. And anyone, the election held every 5 years. Fine. And the persons, Tibetans above 18 years of age, are entitled to vote to the Tibetan Parliament in exile. Okay, the sessions of the Parliament are held twice every year with an interval of 6 months in between. Fine. This is information about the Tibetan government in exile and the Central Tibetan Parliament, which runs from India, from Dharmasala, where they have established their headquarters of the Tibetan government in exile. Fine. And let's discuss or know about the Tibetan policy of the Indian government. Okay, the Simla Convention for century, Tibet was India's actual neighbor. And in 1914, it was Tibetan representative along with the Chinese that signed the Simla Convention with British India that delineated the boundaries. So Tibetan autonomous region, it was a complete independent region. China was independent, India. So they are all separate under the British rule. Most of the India's boundary and the 3,500-kilometer line of actual control is with the Tibetan autonomous region, not with China. Between India and China comes the Tibet. Chinese full accession of Tibet in 1950. China repudiated the convention and the McMahon line that divided the two countries. And 1954, India signed an agreement with China agreeing to trading terms on what it called the Tibet region of China. So Tibet region of China, Tibet which was totally independent prior to this, China started exercising its control over it, and in subsequent period, India agreed to this Chinese claim and India recognized Tibet as the Tibet region of China. This is, you can say, diplomatic victory for China and also for India, because so India has not recognized Tibet as an integral part of China but the Tibet region of China. In 1959, when the Dalai Lama fled to India, so PM Nehru gave him Tibetan refugee shelter and they set of the Tibetan government in exile. As I told you, in 1959, there is a great Tibetan uprising against the Chinese rule. But it is a failure. The Chinese military is able to suppress it. That led Dalai Lama with his followers to flee the country. And they were given asylum by India. And Pandit Nehru, the Prime Minister of India, gave them political asylum as refugee. But the official Indian policy is that the Dalai Lama is a spiritual leader. The Tibetan community in India with more than one exile is not allowed to undertake any political activity. Fine. So what it is? So we in India designate Dalai Lama as a spiritual leader. So spiritual leader is not allowed to do any political activity from Indian soil. Fine. That is our policy. Okay. But somehow we indirectly supported the Tibetans in their struggle with the Chinese authority. Fine. So what the recent changes in Tibet itself. Over the past few decades, Chinese government has moved to change Tibet in many ways. From pouring investment, infrastructure projects to pouring in Han and mainland Chinese in an effort to Sinicize the population. That means, so China government has the strategy, strategically it is trying to push more Han Chinese and the Chinese people from the mainland to the Tibetan region. So in future, so the Tibetans in Tibet, their number will be less and the Chinese people will be more for any future demographic information. The Chinese dam on Upper Riparian area of the Brahmaputra and the construction of Tibetan village along the LSC, particularly along the Andhra Pradesh boundary, which can prove to be a future flashpoint aimed at bolstering Chinese claims of territory. You know that China is tactically building that Tibetan villages near the Indian boundary. It is trying to create construction of that dam over Brahmaputra river to divert the water. This is and Chinese policy of incursion to Indian territory. Fine. And even the Chinese government is trying to build or raise the Tibetan militia group from among the Tibetan. Okay. So they are trying to build the Tibetan militia group. Fine. What it is? They are also trying to build the Tibetan militia group. While the Indian army also trained the Tibetan Special Frontier Force. In case of any future fighting between India and China, this Tibet is in focus of both the countries. The government of China has been building a Tibetan militia group. Parallelly, the government of India has been growing the Tibetan Special Frontier Force. In case of any future fight, these two Tibetan groups supporting both the sides, they will face each other front to front in any future war. Fine. So this is the strategy of the shifting strategy of both the governments of India as well as that of China. Let's move. The citizenship of Tibet, there is then the question over the future of the Tibetan community in India. That the government does not give citizenship to Tibetans born in India after the cutoff year of 1987, leaving the youth of the community completely limbo, living in segregated communes in different parts of India. So, Indian government policy is not to grant them citizenship or assimilate them in Indian mainstream. They have been given spirit that refugee status, and all facility has been provided to them as refugee as per the international law. They have been allowed to settle in India. They are able to run their government in exile, but they are not allowed to do any open political activity in India and so on. Fine. So, role of USA. USA has also increased its role by accepting more Tibetan refugees with an estimated 30,000 now residing there. Most prominently, the Karampa Lama, the head of the Karma Kagyu sect, who took Domitian citizenship, also resides permanently in USA. The Karampa Lama was elected as the successor of the spiritual leader of Tibet by the Chinese government, Karampa Lama. But he fled the country and is staying in USA. The largest question is over the succession of the 86-year-old Dalai Lama. Who will succeed Dalai Lama on his death? Who has been not only the spiritual leader but also the leader of the Gelugpa sect Tibetan Buddhism, but the political leader of the community worldwide. The Dalai Lama, although is a spiritual leader, but is also considered as the political leader of the Tibetans around the world. But the biggest question mark that remain unresolved till today is who will succeed the Dalai Lama as the spiritual leader of the Tibetans as well as the political leader of the Tibetans. It's a big question mark that remain unresolved because the Karampa Lama, who has been selected by the Chinese government as the leader, he has fled the country and is living in exile in USA permanently. Fine. So this is the situation over Tibet, and so this is the development since the pre-independence India till date. And India and China relationship has been affected to some extent by India's Tibetan policy. Giving asylum to Dalai Lama and his followers by India was taken very otherwise by the Chinese. This is a flashpoint in the Chinese aggression on India because China want to make Tibet an integral part of the territory. Indian support to Tibetans has enraged China that India is supporting or interfering in its matter, which it considers an internal matter. So Tibet is a flashpoint, is a controversial area between India and China. But in the recent past, India has changed its approach towards its Tibetan policy. It don't want to interfere in the Tibetan affairs and let the Chinese government decide what it want to do. Fine, that is what. Okay, so let's move to the next. Next topic is regarding the Ministry of Women and Child Development recently held the 5th zonal meeting with Eastern Region in Bhubaneswar. Okay, Ministry of Women and Child Development (WCD) Department of Government of India held its meeting in the Eastern Region meeting in Bhubaneswar. Empowerment and protection of women and children, who constitute 67.7% of Indian population, and ensuring their wholesale development in a safe and secure environment is crucial for sustainable and equitable development of the country and for achieving transformational economic and social changes. To achieve this objective, The Union Cabinet, chaired by the Prime Minister, has recently approved three important umbrella schemes of the ministry to be implemented in a mission mode. Okay, so the Ministry of Women and Child Development has launched three umbrella programs, three different programs for the empowerment, upliftment of the women. So, for the mission Poshan 2.0, Mission Shakti, and Mission Vatsarya. Three schemes. This is one Mission Poshan 2.0, Mission Shakti, and Mission Vatsarya. Coming to Mission Poshan 2.0, no, India is the house to the largest number of malnourished children in the world. So we have our mission to ensure proper nutrition or nourishment through the Mission Poshan. And Mission Poshan 2.0 is the second generation of that program. Integrated nutrition support program, it seeks to address the challenges of malnutrition in children, adolescent girls, pregnant women, and lactating mothers through a strategic shift in nutrition, content, and delivery, and by creation of a convergent ecosystem to develop and promote practices that nurture health, wellness, and immunity. Three things. What it wants to promote? It wants to promote health, wellness, and immunity of the adolescent, so malnourished children, adolescent girls, pregnant women, and lactating mothers. Fine. This is Mission Poshan 2.0. Poshan 2.0 will seek to optimize the quality and delivery of food under the Supplementary Nutrition Program (SNP), which runs in the Anganwadi. Poshan 2.0 will bring three important programs scheme under its ambit: the Anganwadi services, scheme for adolescent girls, and the Poshan Abhiyan. Fine. This remember preliminary point of view. So what it will subsume, it will cooperate or it will supervise the Anganwadi service, the scheme for adolescent girls, and the Poshan Abhiyan. Fine. Then Mission Shakti. Mission Shakti envisages a unified citizen-centric life cycle support for women through integrated care, safety, protection, rehabilitation, and empowerment to unshackle women as they progress through various stages of their life. Fine. Mission Shakti has two sub-schemes, Sambal and Samarthya. Sambal and Samarthya. While the Sambal sub-scheme is for safety and security of women, the Samarthya sub-scheme is for empowerment of women. Samarthya is for empowerment and Sambal is the scheme for safety and security of the women. The third one comes Mission Vatsarya. The objective of this mission is to secure healthy and happy childhood. Vatsarya, okay, the childhood for every child in the country, foster a sensitive, supportive, and synchronized ecosystem for development of children. The mission also assists state, union territory in delivering the mandate of the Juvenile Justice Act 2015, achieve the sustainable development goal set by the United Nations between 2015 and 2030. So there are 17 goals under the SDG. Fine. And component under the mission Vatsarya will include statutory body, service delivery structures, institutional care services, non-institutional community-based care, emergency outreach services, training and capacity building. So, most importantly, training and capacity building for this. Fine. So, this is by the Ministry of WCD. Okay. So, for ensuring that malnutrition in the country is under control. Because we are being transformed from a developing country to a developed country. We have already transformed from underdeveloped to developing and on a path of rapid economic development. In this situation, malnourished number of malnourished children or a majority remaining malnourished create a very bad reputation for the country, a negative impression about the country. So through this, government want to check these things. Fine. Moving next. Nadabet Indo-Pak Border Darshan Project. Indian Home Ministry inaugurated the Nadabet Indo-Pak Border Darshan Sima Darshan Project, tourism project in Banasakhanta in Gujarat. Nadabet Indo-Pak Border Darshan Project, it has been started jointly by the Gujarat government, tourism department, and the border security force. A tourist can get acquaintance with the storage of the BSA personnel who fought in the border, who protect the border, their story of courage, their story of deed, their story of achievement, fine, and also engage in number of sports and recreational activity there because the infrastructure will be created over there. Under the Sima Darshan projects, all kinds of tourist facility and other special attractions have been developed at a cost of 1 crore 25 lakhs at that particular place. Significance: the border tourism project will boost tourism and also deter migration into India from villages at the border areas because they will be able to earn economically. It will also provide employment to over 5 lakhs youth in the next 10 years. Fine, because if the youth remain unemployed, they become easy prey in the hands of the terror group or the anti-social elements. So government has the target to train 5 lakh youth in the coming 10 years and give them employment, to provide employment, so they will be more proactive in joining the national mainstream than taking the law onto their own hand and becoming unruly. Fine. That is what. Then moving next. NITI puts out Energy and Climate Index list. NITI Aayog, National Institution for Transforming India, the successor of the Planning Commission, created in 1915, has developed the State Energy and Climate Index. So what? State Energy and Climate Index has been developed and released by the NITI Aayog, which measures the state's effort for improving the energy sector. The index is based on 2019-2020 data. The index has been designed to access the identify the scope for improving the performance of state and to help them efficiently manage their energy resources. Fine. How they will be able to manage their energy resources efficiently? Okay. This will provide the states and concerned central ministries department with a ready reckoner of valuable information which in turn would empower them to formulate and implement suitable policies. The index has a preliminary set of 27 key parameters or performance indicators covering 6 parameters. Fine. So discom performance, discom means distributing companies. As you know, power, generation, distribution, and in between each, transmission. Power is generated, then transmitted, then distributed. These discoms are the companies, especially private companies right now, the privatization is there like Odisha. The discoms are given the responsibility for providing power or distributing the power and collecting the revenue. So discoms are the distributing companies. So what their duty is? Distribute power and collect revenue. Then access, affordability and reliability of the energy, clean energy initiatives, energy efficiency, environmental sustainability and new initiatives. Fine. So these are the 6 parameters under which this index has been prepared. Who has prepared this? Niti Aayog has prepared it. What is the index? Energy Climate Index list. So based on 6 parameters: discom performance, access, affordability and reliability, clean energy initiatives, energy efficiency, environmental sustainability, and what are the new initiatives taken by those agencies who are in the power sector. Ranking the states based on their efforts towards improving energy access, energy consumption, energy efficiency and safeguarding environment. In the objective, helping drive the agenda of affordable, accessible and efficient clean energy. Right now, the most important thing is that affordable, accessible, efficient and clean energy. Why? Because right now we are using the most polluted source of energy in India, that is the thermal power plant. We are trying to change it. So our clean energy contribution to total power generation from the non-conventional sources will increase: solar, wind and other things. encouraging healthy competition among the states different dimensions of energy and climate. Since discom are the important link in the entire energy chain value, their performance has been assigned with higher weightage 40%, because they are the main distributing companies who will distribute, maintain and generate revenue. The aspect of financial viability and performance of discom have been taken into consideration to encourage competition among the states. Other parameters such as access, affordability, reliability of energy, clean energy initiatives, energy efficiency, environmental sustainability, and new initiatives have been assigned weightage of 15, 15, 6, 12, and 12% respectively. The overall objective of this index is to develop healthy competition. What is? Develop healthy competition among the states to perform better and provide quality energy services to users in their states. So ultimate aim is the states should provide quality power, uninterrupted supply, and provide to the people and other required sectors and generate revenue to make itself financially strong. The state have been categorized based on size and geographical difference of larger and small states and the Union Territory. Gujarat, Kerala, Punjab have been ranked at the top three performance. Look at questions may come from this. Gujarat, Kerala, and Punjab are ranked top three performing country in this category last state. But Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, and Chhattisgarh are the bottom. This is plus plus, this is minus minus. Goa emerged as the top performer in the middle class, small category states, followed by Tripura and Manipur. Among Union Territory, Chandigarh, Delhi, and Daman and Diu and Dadra and Nagar Haveli are the top performers. Reliability energy. Haryana had the best performance in the clean energy initiative among last state, and Tamil Nadu in the energy efficiency group. Fine. So who are become energy efficient? That is the present demand. So the more you become efficient, so less you consume the power and less the pollution that you are releasing to the atmosphere. The more power you consume, the more pollution you are creating. Fine. So among the small states who are the highest at the top, among the small, big states with the top, fine. This is the information on this, which will be useful for the preliminary as well for the main point of view. Let's see some questions on this. The first is, it refers to Drupad. Consider the following statement. It is also with a Carnatic music. No, it is a not Carnatic music, rather it is a Hindustani classical music. Drupad is part of the Hindustani classical music. Classical music. Okay. Drupad is traditionally performed by the women. No. Instrument like Tanpura are used. Yes, Tanpura is used. So these two are wrong. And only 3 is the right answer to the question number 1. Then moving next. Consider the following statement. Article 2 323A empower the Parliament to provide the establishment of administrative tribunal with respect to conditions of service of persons appointed to public services. So, in case any public servant's rights are affected, he can go to the administrative tribunal. So, there are central administrative tribunals called CAT. Under the state, there are SAT, state administrative tribunals. Some states like Odisha abolished it. Odisha SAT has been abolished. Then comes the provision of the tribunal was added by the 44th Amendment Act. No. So this is right one. But this is not by 44th, rather the 42nd Amendment. Added by the 42nd Amendment, not by the 44th Amendment. So only one is the right answer. And moving further, with reference to political parties, consider the following statement. Recognition of a state or national party can be done if the conditions mentioned under the repealed block are fulfilled. It is mentioned there. The political party recognized 4 more states become eligible to be known as the national party. Yes. So, this is the answer is B. Sangeet Natak Academy awards are given to which of the following category? Music, drama, music, dance, theatre, puppetry. In all the 4 categories, the Sangeet Natak Academy award is given. In case of music, Natak, both are there. Dance, theatre and puppetry. Both are performing art forms. So, Sangeet Natak Academy gives award in all the 4 categories. Fine. Moving next. He is believed to be the first Hindu to start an orphanage for unfortunate children. He, along with his followers, formed the Satya Sodhak Samaj. His well-known book include Gulamgiri and Shakharcharya Asuda. So it is Jyotiba Phule, the great leader during freedom struggle and social awakening. Okay, Jyotiba Phule. Fine. Social reformer. Following statement with respect to Barbara Forest of Odisha. It is India's only forest guarded by the CRPF because of the Naxal activities. Majority of the building forest is sand. No, in Odisha there is no sandalwood. The salt trees are there, not the sandalwood. So only one is right. Because in Odisha there is no sandalwood tree. The climatic conditions never facilitate or favor the sandalwood cultivation. So it is the not sandalwood is not the right. So examine the following statement with reference to recently energy climate index by Nitya. Gujarat, the top performer among the large states. It's right. Discom performance has been assigned with a higher weightage 30% in all overall index because they are the major distributing companies. So whether the program will be successful or not depends upon the distribution revenue collection. So it is right. Punjab are the best performer in Discom performance. So this is also right. So all these are right as per the recent report that we have discussed while deliberating on this. Union Cabinet approved various schemes in mission mode under the following statement with regard to Mission Shakti. It is a central sponsored scheme launched in eastern region state as pilot test. Yes, under Mission Shakti sub-scheme Sambad focus on safety and security of the women and Samarthya sub-scheme for empowerment of women. We have just discussed. So this is not correct. 2 is not correct. Only 1 is correct. So this is wrong. So only 1 is correct. We have discussed this just recently in the discussion. Then moving next, Mission Vaschalya related to which of the following? Okay, healthy and happy childhood for every child in the country. Vaschalya. So it is affection. Affection is to so happy childhood because similarly like to the that affection of the parents, the family members, the guardians. Similarly, Mission Vaschalya is for the healthy and happy childhood for every child in the country. Fine. Then moving next, the technology called Raman spectroscopy, recently seen in news, can be used in studying the behavior of minerals under harsh conditions, study of bone structure, detected microplastics in water, identification of contaminants. So this is used for all of these. So D will be the right answer. So friends, so you just keep on watching our program regularly. We at our end have been trying our best to update you on informations and discuss the topics which are in limelight in the last 1 or 2 days and to enrich you and empower you for your upcoming examinations in both main and prelim point of view. Thank you for watching. Thank you.